Hello everybody. Today is Monday, August 27th. I have a video update for you from today. Before we begin, first, our website is bluewavetrading.com, and if you need to contact us, here's our contact page. Pretty decent day today. First up is this E-mini S&P on a 97 Heikin-Ashi tick chart. There was kind of a small winner here, maybe a tick, and this was actually 6 points from the entry at 93.50 to the high bar here, high of this bar, which was 99.50. So had you had a trailing stop, say at 24 ticks on the E-mini S&P, this trade would have been good for about $250 to $275. And then this move here wouldn't have had to go as far to hit your goal, maybe only about this far. But once you start changing things, it affects other trades. Had you had a trailing stop, this could have been stopped out here or even here. So you have to be careful when making these kind of changes. More importantly is the open range filter did a pretty good job here. Even though we didn't have shorter targets or tighter trailing stop, it produced a decent long trade, what could have been. And then also this short trade is similar to the open range setup that I've been talking about recently, this trade right off the open here. The market tends to go down faster than it goes up, and you can kind of see that with all the down days we've had, that people tend to panic more when the market is dropping. So this is a 15-minute chart of the NASDAQ with our volume profile indicator. I just wanted to bring this over to kind of throw some light on market volatility and action. Notice the week of the 19th through the 23rd that we basically had kind of the market trading at a range, and then one day of a big drop here, and then again we have kind of a market trading in a range. Now prior to this week we had pretty good directional trading here, and then backing up this move here and kind of test here, but more so going back to the beginning of August. So pretty good volatility in August, but this last couple of weeks we've seen a little bit of consolidation, excepting this one big day here, and I think this was something to do with news on tariffs and with China and all that. And now we're getting some consolidation again. So really for the past 10 days I wouldn't say the action's been that great. So I'm just showing some charts at random here. At the end of the video, I'll show the spreadsheet, the updated spreadsheet. We did a revision. Michael fixed a couple of errors that were in the spreadsheet that I showed in the last video. Anyway, here is that open range trade. This time on the DAX, 150 Heikin-Ashi tick, just hitting its goal in what looks like a very short move, but again, the DAX being one of the most volatile and one of the best markets to trade. Quite a nice move here, hitting its goal very early on based on the US session. Okay, same thing here on the DAX on a Super Renko 14 tick. I'm not using the open range filter on this, but it did catch the short, and we're not using precision trend exit, so we didn't exit because we had blue bars. And this hit its goal. Remember, this is a single contract, but I have a higher goal because of the size of the bar. Each bar is 14 ticks, so even though it's a single contract, I have a higher goal on this, and this hit its goal of 750. And here you can see we're only trading one contract with a goal of 750 and a loss limit of 550. Okay, this is the E-mini S&P on a Super Renko 4 tick with the 1597 Heikin-Ashi as the higher time frame, and this hit its goal of 450 and had a couple of ticks of slippage, and there was only about a tick or two drawdown on this trade here. And this was a long, and once again, lack of a tight enough trailing stop, missed this getting out earlier. Okay, this is the E-mini S&P on a 2 Renko chart, and this drew down about $200 and essentially recovered from that to finish at 187.50. The crude oil on the Super Renko 8 tick did not trade today. This has been a really reliable chart, but it's currently in a drawdown. And I'm not going to stop following it because it has been very consistent over time. It's just in the last couple of weeks or the last month perhaps, performance has been poor, but that doesn't mean the chart is not good. So I'm going to continue to track it in spite of the fact that it's not been looking great lately, but just looking at a couple of weeks of performance doesn't really tell you a whole lot. It only tells you a couple of weeks. Okay, this is the E-mini S&P on a Super Renko 4-tick with a 4-tick higher time frame, but they're different sensitivities. The base time frame is a sensitivity of 1, and the higher time frame is a sensitivity of 2. And this has a goal of 400, and it was a bit active today. Again, one contract drew down $150, but it came back and hit its goal. That's pretty impressive. Okay, this is the DAX on a 987 Heikin-Ashi chart, and you can see there was a losing trade here right off the open, but then there was a very nice winner here, and that recovered enough for it to hit its goal of 450. I'm not sure it hit its goal. I think it just recovered to 362.50. Okay, the NASDAQ on a 150 Heikin-Ashi tick chart did 480. Its goal is 500, and you can see the trades here. And it doesn't look like we had a loser. You can see the equity curve. Next, we have the DAX on a Super Renko 6-tick, and this has a goal of 500, so hit its goal and had positive slippage. Okay, moderately active here on the crude 150 line break chart, but finishing positive and hitting its goal of 500 with 1 tick of slippage. Okay, this is the E-mini S&P on a Super Renko 4-tick, and this is the template with the open range filter and the step MA, and it didn't trade here until 10 minutes to 11, but it caught this really excellent short move, and that allowed it to hit its goal of 500 and have positive slippage. Okay, this is the DAX on the Super Renko 14-tick, and I'm also beginning to plot this based on its original settings of opening at 3 a.m. here. So this is the open of the London session that I'm starting to track this chart again. And so it hit its goal here in 2 trades. Okay, this E-mini S&P is Super Renko 4 with the higher time frame Super Renko 6. And this one starts trading at 9:30. This one hit its goal of 400 and had a couple of ticks of slippage. Here's our spreadsheet updated through August 27th, 2019, and I began plotting this on the week of July 29th. If I scroll back here. And so here is the E-mini S&P page. This was today, Tuesday, August 27th. Here's your weekly totals thus far. Here is the DAX page. So here is today. And I don't know about you guys, but if you notice pattern, DAX, the best market to trade, followed by the E-mini S&P. What I want to do is I want to plot some more charts of the crude oil and a few more charts of the NASDAQ. I'm going to drop the 610. This was suggested by a client, and it did good the first week, but it's been nothing but lose since then. So it's a little bit redundant because I have the 987. And either that or I got to figure out different settings for this. So I'm going to try to come up with another couple of charts for the NASDAQ and I guess incubate them. But going back to the DAX, that appears to be, and something I've always known, is the best market to trade. The NQ is pretty good as well, but the best information is revealed in the summary here. And here we can see our weekly running totals. So looking at the ES, pretty much all the charts, with the exception of a couple, are doing really well in the ES. Keep in mind that most of these, with the exception of 1 or 2, are trading 2 contracts. Even some of these with a single contract are performing as well or better as this one with 2 contracts, such as the 2 Renko. So this is the average weekly return per contract. So that's pretty good here. And so are all these. This is basically a month of performance, what we're seeing here. And you only need to compare this to your own live trading or your past live trading. And being that most traders lose, I'm pretty confident that this is better than what you're doing. And here it is for the NQ. And then on the summary page here, I'll just go back to this side. And then here we are for the crude. Again, the Super Echo 8. Kind of in a drawdown here, but not surprising. The Heikin-Ashi 150 on the crude, really good. And then this line break chart on the crude, performing quite well. And then, of course, here on the DAX, the big surprise here is the 34-tick line break chart doing $5,000 for the month at trading a single contract. So this is pretty remarkable. An average weekly return of $12.25. Who would have thought? But I've been plotting that 34-tick line break chart for quite a long time. And the other charts for the DAX are quite well. As this develops over time, I'm sure we're going to see some great numbers on the DAX. Okay, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching.